Welcome to Frontline. In this video, I'm going to show you within our DT section how to assign DT weapons and equipment to your officers into the armory. So the first thing you're going to want to do is under the DT section here, you're going to go to Manage, and you're going to customize everything within that DT section. So you're going to put in your weapon types, so what they are, how long they are good for, who your instructors are, whether they're within the department or not, what equipment you're wanting to track. Once you have all this customized, you're then going to go to Entry tab. You're going to select on DT roster. This will show you a list of all those employees. You'll then select on an officer. You're going to be able to see all those qualifications that they've completed for their DT weapons, what they qualified with, did they pass, did they fail. You're going to be able to access their DT weapon list. So this is all their DT weapons that are assigned to them. To get this weapon in here, you can just select Add Weapon to Officer List, put in the date, weapon type, serial number, make, model number. If it has an expiration, you can go ahead and add that in. Make any notes about this weapon, hit Submit that note, and then save the entry. Once you save it, it'll then be added to that officer's weapon list. If you ever needed to assign this weapon to the armory, you would just go to that weapon, hit Edit. You're then going to make a note that it's going to the armory, submit that note, mark Assign to Weapon to Armory, and hit Save Entry. It'll then be removed from this officer's weapon list and added to the armory list. You're going to have the Equipment List tab, which is going to show you all equipment that is assigned to this officer. If you needed to assign equipment to this officer, you're just going to select Add Equipment to Officer List, put in the information about that equipment. If it has an expiration date, make sure to put that as well. Make any notes about that equipment, submit that note, and save that entry. That equipment will then be added to that officer's equipment list. If you ever needed to assign equipment list to the equipment armory, you can just find that equipment you want to send to the armory, select Edit. You're then going to assign this weapon to the armory, make any notes about it, submit that note, save the entry. That equipment is then going to be removed from that officer's equipment list and moved to the equipment armory. To get your DT armory in there, you're going to click on DT Armory. This is going to show you a list of all those DT weapons that you have available to assign out if need be. You're going to select Add Weapon to DT Armory. You're going to put in the information about that DT weapon, the notes about that weapon. You can keep track of the status of that weapon as well, and then you're going to hit Save. Once you hit Save, it'll then be added to the DT Weapon Armory. If you ever needed to assign a DT weapon out to an officer, you would just go find that weapon, hit Edit, make notes that it's going to an officer, submit that note. We're going to then select that officer and hit Save. Once you hit Save, it'll then be removed from the DT Weapon Armory list and added to that officer's DT weapon list. The Equipment Armory, to get that information in here, you're going to go to Add Equipment to Armory, put in the information about that equipment, make any notes about it. You can keep track of the status of that equipment, and then you're going to hit Save. Once you hit Save, it'll then be added to the Equipment Armory here. If you ever needed to assign any of this equipment out to an officer, you would just find that equipment, hit Edit, make any notes of where it's going, who the officer is that's receiving it, and then hit Save. It'll then be removed from the Equipment Armory and added to that officer's equipment list. Thank you for watching this video.